Today, I'll be giving you guys a quick overview of the Kamp-Rite Oversized Tent Cot that I got off Amazon for about $300. This tent cot features 4 legs, sturdy aluminum frame, overhead spanners for increased headroom, and it's got high quality zippers and flaps to allow easy entry and exit to the tent. Part of today's video, I'll be going over a tear down and rebuild of the tent to include the rain fly and the carrying case to show you just how easy it is to set up and tear down this tent. As far as the zippers on this tent go, these zippers are pretty high quality. They have an exterior flap and then an interior mesh flap to help keep out bugs. There's also tabs on the top where you can roll up the outer flaps and keep them secured to the top if you want more space for sunlight or wind. The interior space itself is very spacious. It's about 90 inches long, 47 inches tall from top to bottom, and 32 inches wide on the inside. Plenty of space for one person. You probably could fit 2 if you were close. I don't think that would be much of an issue for this tent, especially considering that it is the oversized tent cot. Additionally, on the tent cot are these exterior ventilation holes to help give you some extra breathing room when you have the flap closed. I've experienced many days in the field with this wind, with this tent cot. There were some heavy winds, some snow, some rain. This tent cot held up really well during all of that. Not much damage to it. There's a few bumps and scrapes and bruises, but that comes with experience with any tent that you really do take out to the field. Now, in my experience, one of the big features that differentiates this from the regular size tent cot is the 4 legs on the bottom. As you can see, some of you might think that this is excessive to have these 4 legs or that they should be spaced out differently. I thought that initially too, but it's actually a pretty great feature having these 4 legs, because if you're on the inside and you're not quite balanced directly in the center, the tent will actually tip over with you inside, and that'll have you and all your gear falling to one side, becoming unstabilized. This is also good for extra stability in wind and also for the extra weight support. So if you do have 2 people in here or yourself plus some gear, you'll be able to support yourself and make sure the tent doesn't fall over and doesn't collapse. Another cool feature of the oversized tent cot is the additional headroom on the inside. That makes it much more spacious, a lot more room to change clothes or move about as you need inside of the tent cot. Next, I'll be getting into the teardown of the tent cot. I'll be showing you how it works. It's pretty simple, but it does take a few minutes. And then I'll show you what it looks like collapsed inside its carrying case. And then finally, I will rebuild the tent from its carrying case to include the rain fly, which you all have not seen yet. So to start off, I'm going to unsecure the spanners on the top. I've got these nice clips on them. I'll keep them upright. Got one pull here. And the other pull here. These poles are fiberglass, a little bit fragile, so be careful not to break them. Otherwise, you may need to get replacements. It's not necessary to set these up for the tent cot to function, but it does provide the extra headroom on the inside. Next, what I'll get into doing is making sure that all the flaps are closed. This is good just to make sure it's packed up all nice and well on the inside. I'm going to unzip it here. And you see that I have this mesh flap open. I'm going to make sure that the mesh flap is zipped up, nice and secure, that everything else is secure on the inside, and that I haven't left any gear in there. Next, carefully close up the flaps. Then my next step is actually to twist the tent cot onto its side so that I can take off the straps from the bottom and help collapse the tent cot in. So we've got one buckle on this side, and then another buckle on this side. This will allow the tent cot to fold in. I'll show you guys a nice upright view of it folding in. Now just be patient, it may take a second for all the air to deflate out of it. And then from here, you can bring it outside again, fold in the final two legs, and there you have it. The tent cot is folded up into its smallest position. You may notice that it is still a little large. I think it's a little oversized to be backpacking with, but this can easily fit in a vehicle for a long weekend trip. Next, I have the carrying case for the tent. See, it's got these nice carrying straps here. It is large. This is as large as the tent gets when it's in its smallest position. Place it in. I'll start by laying the case on the ground, opening up, and then just slipping the tent cot right in. There you have it. Just some final zippers, which I will show you. Some final zippers here on the side. As you all can see here, this is the full size of the Kamp-Rite Oversized Tent Cot when it's folded into its smallest position. It is a little too large to backpack with. You can carry it, but I wouldn't recommend taking this on trails unless you have a vehicle or something else to support you. It is good for long weekend trips. As you all have seen, it is a fairly luxurious tent. The other items, such as the tent poles or the rain fly, do fit in here when all packed up together. It's easy enough to just slip these inside and then store them. You have to just make sure that you don't handle this too roughly. It is fragile and these can break. Next, I'm going to be showing you how I unpack it from the carrying case and then get it all set up. It's pretty simple, and I'll show you the install of the rain fly, which is simple itself as well. Outside of the carrying case, I'll take the carrying case and then just throw it off to the side. Start to fold the legs out. Now I have the tent cot on its side and I'm pulling all the legs out. From here, with the tent unfolded and it's in its side position, I'm going to get these buckles here on the bottom, and I'm going to secure this. This is a nice simple buckle here, and this is meant to help keep the sides folded down and keep tension on the tent so that it stays in its upright position. And then one more on this side. You do have to be careful in buckling these because they can be fragile, and if you break them, you may need to replace them. So now the tent is fully laid out. It's that simple to set up. And then next, move into setting up the spanners on the top with the fiberglass holes. Side over here. clips to set up. Nice and easy. And then I'll go around and grab the other pole. Place it in nice and easy, simple clips. Excellent. Okay, now the overhead spanners are all set up. It's out of its carrying case. This is the original position of the tent. You could use it from here if you'd like, or if there's inclement weather, you could put on the rain fly, which I find very useful, both for rain and for heavy wind. I'll go ahead and show you to that now. The rain fly, you want to just pull it over the top. It has elastic corners that you can just place around the side of the tent. Got one here and one here. Move the carrying case out of the way. One more. Boom. Oh my goodness. I set it up backwards. Actually, this is the back side of the rain fly. I'm going to go ahead and take off the rain fly to show you how it looked correctly set up. My mistake on that. Now, to set up the rain fly, pull it over the top. Got elastic in all four corners, help drape it over. And then it just lays nicely over the frame and the spanners. There's also more buckles and clips. So as you can see, this buckle right here, buckles on the underside to help keep the rain fly secured. And then one more on this side. The rain fly does have its own zippers to allow entry and exit from the tent, and it helps provide another layer of defense against the wind and the rain. So this is all the exterior features of the tent. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the minor interior features and other details of the tent. Next, I'll be showing you the interior of the tent. I'll go ahead and take off the rain fly. Now with that slipped off, I can show you the front side zipper. Lift this up, unzip the mesh flap, and there you have the interior of the tent, which is very spacious. One of the problems is that it tends to collect dust and sand, especially towards the exterior, the sides of the tent, where there are little crevices, nooks, and crannies. Not that much of a deal breaker, but just one thing to keep note of. The floor is very stable, it's very strong, and I was able to support my own body weight, plus other gear in here during the many nights that I spent with this tent cot in the field. I hope this video was helpful. It showed you a lot about the features of the tent, including the rain fly, carrying case, the tear down, and the rebuild. It's a high quality tent. I enjoyed using it, and it was very useful to me. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.